Welcome back. If you're watching this video, it probably means you're having an issue with your SCREEM unit, the Sentry Key Remote Module. It's this little guy right here. There's a number for it. You can get this, order this through from Rob over at needswings.com, and it comes with a brand new one. It is VIN coded to your specific vehicle, so it's not as if you can go and grab the one from your buddy's car and just slap it into this one, unless you can get it reprogrammed. And even reprogram it, nobody's been able to confirm if anybody's been able to have one properly reprogrammed for a Chrysler Crossfire. So when you order one from Rob, you'll get this brand new one, and you'll have to send him all your pertinent information to prove that it is your car. You'll also get a new key ring receiver. The reason is these tend to break. So there's tabs in there, and there's the connecting wire. And over time, they get brittle and they start to crack, and you may even break the clip on it. So they send you a spare one. If you're like me, mine went. This is the bad one. And basically what happened is I came in the car, turned the key on, and it started to engage, but it would stall out right away. Turn the key on a second time, it would engage but stall out right away as well. Now here's the key. On the third attempt, there was absolutely nothing. No noise, no nothing. Completely dead. So what I did is I went underneath the hood, I disconnected the battery for a couple of minutes, came back in the car and tried it again. The same three symptoms happened. It would turn over a little bit, stall out, key off, turn a little bit, stall out, key off, and again on the third attempt, absolutely nothing. It comes with this and with the ring, as I said, the key ring. And the key ring, you don't have to change it if yours is okay, and if you're careful enough to remove it without breaking any of the wires. So the key ring, I mean, it's pretty simple to remove. You just pull this out here and it'll pop right out. The cable goes in behind here, and I'll show you how to remove this in a second, and it's connected directly to this guy. So the key ring, you can keep the new ring as a spare, or you can change it right away. That is entirely up to you. I kept the new one as a spare, and if ever anything ever happens to it, well, I have it as a security spare part. Your first step is going to be disconnect the battery, come down here, remove your dash, the lower dash. Very simple to do. Just a couple of screws and a couple of two I think it's 8mm or 10mm nuts. I can't remember it right now, and I'll say that in a second. 8mm. And just remove the lower panel. You can see how that's done through one of my other videos to fix the sticky key. Very simple. Anyways, don't worry too much about that. Straightforward. Next, what you need to do is remove this panel right here, this ring, okay, this bezel system right here. And basically what you want to do is there's tabs behind here that goes in the back and connects to this. Okay, so we need to pop this downwards and then towards the camera. Sorry for my finger, but it's going to go towards you. Once you have it lowered down, you can pull the there'll be a couple of screws here and down here as well that'll be holding the speedo gauges, and once you have your screws off, again, you will be pulling it backwards, but you're going to go this way. Okay, you're going to go in between the steering and the dash, like right in here. And the reason for that is because you don't want to disconnect anything further. It's going to be a pain in the ass to do it. So the easiest way to do it is, as I said, just tilt it forward. Make sure you depress your buttons as you are tilting it forwards, so that it can pass besides this your cruise control arm. So let's get that going right now. And what the tools you want to do is get yourself a good set of trim remover set. This is by ProPoint. It's a professional series, and they are excellent. They're like a nylon trim removers, and they won't scar or or damage anything. And there's a whole pile of different types and sizes. Like I said, it's a 5-piece unit and very handy for all sorts of car related trim removal items. So I'm going to get the camera set up here so I can get in there, and I'll show you just how to remove this part. Okay, step one, just lift the tabs up here, make sure that you've removed the screws holding this part here, and then just gently pry off your keyring. And then what you're going to need to do is just pull this out a little bit, okay? And with your plastic trim remover, just come up in here, and what you're going to do is put it down. As I said, there's a couple of tabs in here. You want to start from one side. There we go. Okay, there we go. And there we go. So what is holding this to this is these clips right here, okay? They're all over the place, and basically they just come behind in here. Okay, so one comes up there in the middle here, one in the middle there, the other one in the middle here, but right behind. Okay, so now we've removed the trim underneath here. There's one screw. Okay, there's another one. There's one more here, and one more right there. So remove those 4 screws, and we'll move on to the next step. Now that you have the screws out, what you need to do is just to gently get this little, see this bracket here, this little white bracket? Well, it just sits over here a little bit. So just pop that one out on the side. Do the same thing with this one. You can see it's blocking right there. So, whoops, I'll have to move it with 2 hands here, but basically what you want to do is just pass it through. Now, once you get here, as I said, you're going to have to pass this sideways. So, as you pull out, see, I'm going sideways here, okay? That way there, you don't have to disconnect all of these wires in the back here, okay? You don't have to touch anything. And as I promised, the SCREEM unit is right behind. Here it is. All right, let me get into a better position for photos, for the video, and I'll be right back. So I got myself a nice little flashlight here so you can see a little bit better. And basically, you're right here, okay? So you can see the SCREEM unit is being held just by 2 tabs on the front and a slide-in tab in the back. So how to remove this? Pretty simple. What you do is just open up the clips. See, I just separated the clips and the unit just popped right up. So let me show you that one again. Okay. So if I press it down, you'll see what happens. Let's get this here. See that? So it just sat right inside those clips. So again, to remove them, separate the 2 clips, lift it up, and then you pull it back. And in the back, see this tab? It goes into that hole right up there. So let me show you that hole. You can see it right there. Okay, so right up there. That's where it goes into. Now, once you have this, all you'd want to do is disconnect these 3 wires. Now, let's see if I can get some more light in here and see if that works a little bit better. There we go. So this one here, just the bottom one, just pull it out. Okay. Same thing with the second one. The second one is your key, the ring for the key. So this guy is the one you want to be careful with. Just jiggle it back and it'll come right out. See? This is the strange one. Okay? I'm going to zoom in on this one and my fingers, but there. Okay? So you're going to see a little tab right there. Can you see that as I press it down? As I press it down, you're going to pull this guy down. And then this just pops out. Okay? Once again. Okay? Because if you try to pop it down, not going to work. It's locked in. You can't push it out. There's no press pins on it at all. So what you need to do here is press this little tab. See it? See as I'm pushing it in? Okay, press it down with your other finger. Whoops. Now it's gonna, there we go. Okay, press it down. It comes right down on here. And now you can remove this guy. There. Okay. Now, FYI, this is the new one. This is the good one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bad one in there, and I'm going to show you exactly what the symptoms are and what they sound like. All right. So the one with the red dot is the bad one. So this will also be an exercise in showing you how to reinstall everything. Let me zoom back out. There you go. Okay. So we'll put the top one back in. Okay. Fill in. Push it in all the way. And you'll see as you push it in all the way, the locking pin comes up. The middle one is, as you remember, the one for your key ring. Whoops. Oops, sorry, wrong one. My apologies. There we go. It's a black one. The bottom one is the green and beige one. Okay, so let's pop that one right here. We'll just put this back into place real quick. Okay. Just as if you were putting your new one back in. So there we go. Oop. Okay, so now let's get the battery reconnected, and we're gonna put the key in and you'll see what happens. Okay, so we have the bad unit in. I'm going to show you what happens when you put the key in. Okay, started installed right out. Try it again. Okay, installed right out again. Third time, nothing. See, absolutely nothing. So now what you do is you go back to the battery, disconnect it, and try that sequence all over again, and it will do the same thing all over. It'll try to start twice, but it will stall out both times, and on your third attempt you will receive absolutely nothing. It's just a dead car at this point. You cannot wait and see if the car is going to cool down and that if it'll start up again. It doesn't work that way. It's not a heat sensitive module, so it's not like your CPS or your RCM in this situation. Okay, so let's take out the old one, put the new one back in, and I'll show you there's an extra step that you must follow so that this starts, because if not, you're going to get in the car and you're going to say, uh-oh, it won't start. So simple step is we are going to need to resync the key to your key fob to the key ring transponder. So let's take this one out, and oh, before we do, let's disconnect the batteries, okay? The car battery, that is. Okay, car battery disconnected. Remove your wires once again, and this one more time. Depress this button right here. This tab will slide down, comes right off. See how simple that was? Reverse process. Get them in nice and tight. Make sure they click in. As you see, every time I would press it in, the locking tab comes right up, and make sure it's secured. Make sure that it's locked in at this point here. Now, put your back one in first into the slot. Find where it's at. Okay, and then make sure that these two little tabs, let's get that flashlight in there. Okay, make sure that these little two tabs are holding the unit down and everything is secure. And make sure you did not break any wires, especially your key ring, the key ring, because if you did, now's the time to change it. If you do need to change your the key ring, just pull it out and then just fish out your wire from behind, obviously, and then just reinstall your new one same way. It's just a couple of pressure clips, It just goes right on, and that's it. Make sure to snug up your wires inside, and I would even use a little tie wrap. I'll do that in a second. Make sure that all my wires are together and they're not loose, hitting or rubbing against anything to shave them off and cause a short. Okay, get your key back. Reconnect the battery on the car. Get your key back, and what you're going to do is resync this key fob to your key ring. Okay, so either press lock twice or unlock twice, doesn't matter. So I'm just going to press it twice. Okay, now within 30 seconds of doing that, put it back into the key, turn it to the on position. Now it's been resynced. Okay, so whoops, let's just turn off the radio. Good tunes. Anyways, now we can test it out, make sure everything is working fine. Voila. So this is what you do if your SCREEM unit breaks down. Do not panic, but just make sure that you have it in the trunk of your car with you, and just a few handy tools, and you'll be able to change this on the fly. Shouldn't take you more than, I don't know, half an hour or something like that. The hardest part in all of this, and it's not even hard, it's just getting to the unit itself. So the car is working. Now it's just time to put your insulation back in there, tuck it all back nice and neat. We'll do that with two hands when I'm done with the video. Put all your pads back in there. A little tip you should know is to bring the steering wheel out as much as we can, again, towards you. And if you don't know how to do that, right underneath the steering wheel, right here, okay, there's your release for the steering wheel. By pulling on this, you can telescopically push it in or pull it out. Either way, just make sure that you click it back in to a lock position. There we go. And you won't have any little code lights showing up on your dash with a funny steering wheel. That looks pretty much like this with a yellow light. And if you do get it, just remember, it just come underneath here and just re-lock your steering wheel. That way it's not going to go back or forth on you. So I'm going to put everything back together, and you guys can watch or skip to the end. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe. Hope this helps out. If you have any questions or comments, please do so in down below. All I'm doing here is I'm slightly lifting up this portion of the dash. There's a little bit of play, and I'm pushing down the tabs to fit into the grooves nice and gently. And then I'm coming over here and I'm going to adjust the side one. Here I'm going to need a little bit of help with this. I'm just going to lift it up just a little bit, not much, just so I can get underneath there, and then I can push it in. So, once it's all in, you push it upwards, you'll hear a big snap like you just heard. Everything else after this is just bolting down your lower panel back into place, back into position, and you are done. Congratulations, you've just repaired your car and just fixed up your SCREEM unit.